What up, Dokkaners? We have new content coming up in Dokkan Frontier. New nodes will be added to Dokkan Frontier. Planet Namek Saga. New missions will also be available. And most importantly, we are finally getting closure on the free-to-play LR NAMEK Goku. We knew that this was coming ever since we saw the original SSR because the hidden potential predisposition was that of an LR. So we knew that this was coming. It was just a matter of time. And now, as of me recording this video, the dummies on the global side have not yet tweeted out the details. So we will be checking out the translations for the JP post. There is a base Goku and there is a Super Saiyan Goku. We'll be checking out both courtesy of one of the members of my Discord server. Shout out to Sunny for this right here. So if there are any issues with this, check the pinned comment. For the God Goku one, there was an issue. I posted something in the pinned comment. So do check the pinned comment for this one. I don't want to wait around all night waiting for the stupid translations. Shout out Global Dokkan. Dumbos. All right, so let's take a look at this. First of all, the animation or the card art should be very reminiscent of when God Goku. I keep saying God Goku. I got God Goku on the brain because that EZA was also announced. But when Goku was approaching Frieza after Frieza took care of Vegeta. Yeah, pretty cool moment, right? So this is base Goku and then this is Super Saiyan Goku. So let's take a look at the unit details. Let me move this stuff over. All right. Starting with the leader skill. Oh wait, what's the leader skill? It doesn't say. Man, what actually, wait, hold on. We already know, don't we? It's Namek Saga, right? Yeah, this guy's a Namek Saga with an extra stat buff for super class. So with this leader skill, E plus 3, 100% stats for Namek Saga, plus an extra stats plus 80 to those who are probably super class. That's my guess based on this. Yeah, that's most definitely what it is. So it's like 180% Namek Saga lead. Ugh. All right. Now, for the super attack. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Temporary. Okay, 18 key. Greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn. For the passive, key plus 3, attack and defense plus 259%. Key plus 1 per key sphere obtained. Launches an additional super attack. 30% chance to crit. 30% damage reduction. For each Planet Namek Saga ally on the team, defense plus 59% up to 159. You also want to be thinking about this from the framework of Dokkan Frontier, because under normal circumstances, you're not going to be running a Namek Saga team, right? You're probably going to be doing this on Frontier. So multiplying this by 3 is the most important. And that still works with this. Damage reduction 10 up to 30. Okay. So that means you actually got 60% damage reduction. Oh, okay. 60% damage reduction with multiple supers padding those stats. That's looking pretty promising so far. The less HP remaining, the greater the attack and defense boost up to 200%. Sort of like a Zenkai. Okay. When attacking, attack plus 200%. When receiving an attack, defense plus 200%. Standard, 6 turns onward, awaken.
What?
Hold on. I'm confused by the punctuation or by the terminology. Oh, I'm stupid. Right. Standard just means outside of survival mode, which is Dokkan Frontier. Okay. Oh. After 6 turns, you would transform into Super Saiyan. But in survival mode, which is Dokkan Frontier. Actually, Dokkan Frontier is the mode, but survival is the new battle system. That needs to be clear. When there's an ally who's named Krillin, youth excluded in the same group when the character is lost. So you got to sack the Krillin. Then you will awaken Goku. So that means that in survival mode, you will be running Super Saiyan Goku in a 1 less person setup. So a 2-man rotation. And then that's when you become this guy. And then his super attack greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes colossal damage. And then for the 18 key, massively raises attack and greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage to the enemy.
Okay.
Key plus 6, attack and defense plus 259%. Key plus 1 per key sphere obtained. Launches an additional super attack. Damage reduction and chance to crit plus 59%. The less HP remaining, the greater the Zenkai boost, up to 300% attack and defense. When attacking, attack plus 200%. When receiving an attack, defense plus 200%. For 5 turns from first appearance, attack and defense plus 159. When there's a Wicked Bloodline or Planet Namek Saga category enemy, launches an additional super attack. Oh, look at this. For each lost character in the group, key plus 3, attack plus 59%, critical plus 20%, damage reduction plus 10%. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's think about this. You're automatically going to have one guy down when you start this. So that means your critical and damage reduction are already going to be enhanced. You're going to have a 79% damage reduction. No, 79% critical. So basically 80% crit and a 70% damage reduction. Not a slot 1 because you don't have guard or anything like that. But I mean, yeah. So in a 2-person scenario, you would ideally have somebody else sort of handling the slot 1 responsibilities. This guy can be your slot 2 combo guy. But if you lose that other guy, then you are looking at 80% damage reduction, and bro, it's 100% crit. Yeah, you got guaranteed crit and you got 80% damage reduction. Okay. But you also have to remember, when you lose allies on your rotation, the what is it called? The hazard levels go up. The threat level, that's what it is. The threat level goes up. So at threat level 3 or whatever max, when you lose 2 people, this is probably not going to even help, because there will be scenarios where they will disable additionals, they will disable dodge, they will disable criticals, they will disable super attack effects. You know, you never know. So I actually don't find this to be all that cool. I guess, like, based on the source material, it's pretty cool, but this actually doesn't instill me with a whole lot of excitement. But I will say this, it's nice to see a new Namek Super Saiyan Goku. It's been a while, and I don't know, maybe I'm just easily impressed, but this does have me a little excited in that regard. I just wish that we would get a new Super Saiyan Namek Goku in general. Feels like it's been way too long. But let me know what you guys think about the LR Namek Goku in the comments down below. Again, I can't really give you much more than just this, so if there's any issues, do check the pinned comment, because I will try to clarify. It is very late, so I probably won't be able to get to it in the morning, until the morning. But yeah, okay. Looks promising. And I think with this guy releasing, also considering where we are in Dokkan Frontier, we gotta be at the end, right? Like, this has to be the end of Namek Saga. That's why it's dropping, right? Like, what was the last thing that we had? We had this guy. So the next fight will be Frieza surviving the Spirit Bomb, and then he kills Krillin, and then Goku goes Super Saiyan, wails on him, then Frieza goes full power, and then after that, I mean, you could do like a full power tail cutoff. Well, no, I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know how much more they can really do. I feel like this wraps up in one more map. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what's gonna be. And going back to what I was saying at the end of my previous video, the God Goku video, because of the God Goku EZA, my feelings towards GDC have sort of changed a little bit. I still think it is a reasonable guess to assume that GDC could have something to do with Dragon Ball Super Beerus. However, there's really nothing now for them to include in Dragon Ball Super Beerus' simultaneous release celebration that they could have done before with the Physical God Goku EZA. Physical God Goku EZA is pretty much like the last thing that has to do with Realm of God, or not Realm of Gods, but Battle of Gods, that anybody had any sort of like hype behind. Now that that is going to be happening during this Plastic Week celebration, there's nothing to carry over to this. So I feel like now GDC feels more like it's going to be something else, and they'll just push this to whenever. And so now I'm kind of thinking, could they move Namek Saga here? Which would also be insane for them to wait all that time after Dokkan Frontier came out at the beginning of the freaking year. For them to then do GDC Namek Saga would be absurd. But then again, that's what we've come to, right? Absurdity. Maybe that's what, I don't know. That's just a theory now. I feel like I need to change this image. I got to put something else in here. All right, how's this? This looks a little better. Now it'll be one of these, I guess, is my new guess. I don't know. Every time I guess, an angel loses its wings, because I'm just horrendous. I'm a horrible person. Anyway, that's all I got. Is he good? Looks like he's going to be good from the free-to-play standpoint for Dokkan Frontier. Is he going to be good outside of Dokkan Frontier? Time will tell. A showcase will decide. This kind of makes me nervous. 6 turns to transform. 6 turns, you're stuck with this. 6 turns, you're stuck with a Namek Saga. I mean, yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, Namek Saga just sucks. So no, the answer is no. No, he's not going to be good. He's going to be good in Frontier until Namek Saga gets an overhaul and upgrade, until Geppy gives the sort of treatment to NAMEK Saga that he has been giving, in all fairness, to other categories, no, that's not going to happen. That being said, when NAMEK Saga does get better, this guy will most definitely be better, because now we have established there are such things as team support, team damage reduction, team pseudo critical. There are all sorts of team benefits that they've included now in future EZAs and upgrades that I am very confident that when this unit does join a much more stacked NAMEK Saga team, definitely it will look better. This character will function better. The team will function better. Geppy has done a good job, in all fairness, in terms of upgrading the categories. Realm of Gods, fantastic boosts in terms of quality. Namek or Saiyan Saga, fantastic boosts in terms of quality. Majin Buu Saga, fantastic boosts in terms of quality. Let's see if that can continue whenever we get the NAMEK Saga. And this, I guess, is one of the first few steps of that happening. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the LR free-to-play NAMEK Goku. Do you feel like it's going to have some promise in the long run? Are you looking forward to running the next Frontier? For those of you who do like Frontier, for those of you who hate Frontier, does this make or break you wanting to come back to Dokkan Frontier at all? Do you feel like this is worth revisiting just to try out the NAMEK Goku? Also, check my pinned comment for anything that I missed in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you want to see more stuff doing. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.